Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Fore Dad's podcast number 112. Apologize that we weren't able to get our podcast in last week. Don Julio took the family out to Disneyland. Looks like they had an awesome time out there. Myself and my kids were all sick, and we just kept on having to push it back and back. And so we ended up waiting until the end of the PGA Championship, which was honestly a lot more entertaining than I expected. And yeah, here we are. We are back, and we're going to jump right into it right now and just talk PGA Championship. Did you watch much of it? Did you
Yeah,
see much of it, or what did you think of it?
I watched quite a bit of it. I don't it seemed like it was like redemption time for those that didn't do well at the Masters. In my opinion, it just seemed like there was like of s- a little bit more from every player. Like, okay, I didn't do well at the Masters. I need to do better, right? I
Mhm.
mean, even John Rahm, where after he finished, he got like a big old hug from his wife, kind of, put some tears in her shoulder, right? I mean, Wyndham Clark with his throwing of the club left the driver. I mean, everyone just seemed like it just meant a little bit more,
Mhm.
in my opinion. That was what I
Yeah,
got from it. But of course it was just it was a dominating performance by Scottie. A little bit of a come from behind victory, but
yeah,
he played lights out. I mean, just great shots all
yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I feel like he was in it within after the first day, like within like 3 to 4 shots, and then kept himself in it until obviously Saturday and Sunday came around. But I feel like the Green Mile was like the reason why he won. I feel like
Mhm.
I forget what I don't know if I honestly don't even know if this is like a fake stat, but they brought it up where they're like on holes 1 through 15, uh, the the
Oh
groups or
yeah,
whatever, like the players are like minus like 75 or 100 or whatever. Then 16 through 18, they're at plus 8,924. Then I was like, what? Even if it's fake, that Green Mile
yeah.
is a monster. The ways that
Mhm.
the holes are set up, the length of it. I assume that they lengthened everything even longer than what they normally do at Quail Hollow,
Yeah.
because they had what, like a 520-yard par four, like almost a 300-yard par
Mhm.
three. Um, it was just wild because I don't know about you, but I saw a lot of people, including myself, when I heard and recalled that the PGA Championship was going to be at Quail Hollow. I was like, really? Like, it's already on the docket. To me, it's kind of like doing it at like TPC Deer Run. Like, it's already
Yeah.
on. Like, it's not and nothing against the course itself, but we already see it. It'd be cooler to see courses that really aren't there. Like, is it Kiowa Island? Like, they don't really
Yeah.
have a tournament on the PGA Tour every year, So, like, when they go there, it's special. And there's so many nice courses out there that they can have these at, like TPC Harding Park that they had a few years ago. And like, it's something that I was kind of like a little bummed about, but I felt like it showed its teeth. That Green Mile was no joke. Um, and a lot of people saw. I think what John Rahm shot what, like 5 over or whatever in the last like 3 holes. He was like in
Yep.
contention by like a shot, and then all of a sudden I put my son down for a nap and I come out and he's like 5 under or 6 under. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You were literally like 10 under like 30 minutes ago. Like, what the heck happened?
Yep.
And just wild.
Yeah, it was tough, man. Even for Bryson, like Bryson fell to it as well.
Mhm.
He battled through it all weekend, but he didn't play bad either. I mean, he was kind of staying in contention. Just again, I think when it gets into the weekend, it's like the adrenaline on his side is running a little bit more because the ball just flies different on the weekend for him, for sure.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I was also really surprised with Wyndham Clark. I mean, obviously, like you said, it means more. The whole thing, it's a major, and he was showing how important it was to him. But wasn't he talking in like full swing too that he like got a therapist to like handle
So
his?
I think it was in Full Swing one where he
Was it?
mentioned, yeah, he mentioned that he had had a therapist, but it's like, dude, in my opinion, you know, and again, I'm just an amateur. I had my amateur championship this weekend, and I fired off a 92 the first day. So I mean, like, yeah, I mean, my word means nothing, but just seeing these guys competing at the at the highest level, it's kind of like, in my opinion, the what was it that Wyndham Clark won, the U.S. Open?
Yeah, I think it's 2022 or 2023 in LA, right?
Yeah, it's like, dude, that's your only claim to fame. Other than that, it's like, I don't think you even came close to that performance of what you did there, and it was really because a lot of the guys who typically are at the top kind of played themselves out of it early, you know?
Hmm.
And it's
Yeah,
just like, for him to act like that, especially being in the spotlight that he is now, it's like, you got to be better than that. Like, we all know how passionate and how, yeah, I guess just how passionate you are about what you do. But at some,
yeah,
like, now that you are a major champion, like,
yep,
you're in the light of everyone. So for you to act like that is just, it's unacceptable, you know?
yeah.
I mean, especially, like, what if he misses here's the other
Oof.
thing, and this,
Yep.
like, what if he misses and, like, hits an official, like the guy who was holding the
Oh,
flag,
yeah.
like, let's go just a hair late, hits him, now what? Now you hurt
Jeez.
somebody, you embarrass yourself, and now you
Yep.
have to pay a fine. It's
Yep.
like, dude, there's so many other things that it's like, I get it's a golf club, I get you get free shit, but at the end of the day, like, keep it together. You're a professional for a reason,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
my whole thing. I saw the clips and it's been floating around like all day. I'm
Right,
just like,
right.
it's so embarrassing to see.
I completely agree, dude. I completely agree. And like, I feel like I'm one of the few people that like, obviously, again, I'm an amateur too. I'm even worse than you, and you're good. So like, my word means nothing. If yours really means nothing, But like, when it comes to like the putter, I know like people always like struggle and they get so many different putters. Think the putter's always gonna have like fix the problem, but I'm like, dude, it's the person that's using the putter. Obviously, the people know that, but they still, get a new putter
Yeah,
thinking it's gonna fix it or whatever. But I'm like, one, I can't afford a new putter every like time that I really want one. So like, you just gotta like, especially with the amount of time that I get to practice putting. I'm like, what am I supposed to drain all these putts that like, I would love to, but if I'm not putting in any of the practice, it's not really going to matter. So why am I going to throw a
right.
club that I can't even fix, if I
Exactly.
break it? I will say though, the only person that would give 100% um, hall pass or whatever, should you say, is Shane Lowry in that situation where his ball was embedded in the fairway. And like you see that ball, and that thing is like half
Halfway in the
in.
ground.
Like it was wild. And like he smashed it. He just got and I'm like, dude, you know what? I get it. That's fine because I'd be pissed. And it was something that
Hmm.
apparently it was an ESPN rep that saw it. And if no one were to see that ball land, like obviously like up close, like at a spectator, then they would have allowed him to do like a pace or place and pick up and play or whatever you call it, or what's the term?
Yeah, um, a lift in place.
Yeah, lift in place. But because one person saw and it said that it wasn't in his mark or whatever, that wasn't his mark or whatever, that he wasn't able to. And I'm like, dude,
But see, that's the rule that everyone's been talking about all year. Well, even like towards the end of last year, is like, if there's a divot, especially in a PGA Tour event like that, if
mm,
there's a divot there, right, you would think there would be people, right, either if it's maintenance crew, if it's volunteers, where after every shot is filled, right, you put the rooster tail back, or not the rooster tail, but you put the divot back,
mhm,
right, the
yeah,
the piece of
a little
sod
water
back.
on it and give it ready to
Well,
go.
no,
Yeah,
and then just like throw some sand on the bottom of it, so at least that way, the next person, if that ball comes flying in that area, at least they have something to hit off of that's not just going to give out from underneath them,
true,
right? It's
true,
kind of like these courses are meant to be absolutely spectacular, like
right.
impact. I mean, just the best of the best.
And every volunteer will do that easily. If you
Yeah,
if
and
you tell
every
them to, it's
volunteer will
so
do that,
easy. Yeah.
right? So it's like, why not just do that? And then for non PGA Tour events, just give a free lift in place. Like,
Hmm.
put it where you need to. You're not gaining anything, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
So
What did you think about the
I,
lift in place on Thursday with all the complaints? Did you think that the players should have been able to do that, or do you think that since it was a major, they are the best of the world, that like they just have to deal with it because they are the best of the world?
well,
Like,
one of the reps made a really good. or one of the field reporters made a really good point, which is like, hey, you are a pro. If the mud is up on top, you know that the ball's
Which
going to
way is
have
it going?
top
Yeah.
spin,
Hmm.
right? So if it has top spin, club down, hit it up high, so then that way it just comes down on the target. If the mud is on the right side, you know it's going to typically cut. If you know that it's on the left, it's going to go left. If it's low, right, then, or if it's up in front, you know that typically the ball's going to have more spin. He's like, these guys know it, so it's kind of like just play it, right? And I mean, I actually experienced that on in my tournament too. I hit like a wet spot, and I had this huge old chunk of mud just right on the front of my ball, and I'm like, oh, I can't do anything. So I clubbed up, got over the tree, but my ball had like zero spin, so it just rolled off the back, which sucked. But I was like,
Right.
oh, I guess that guy was right. I guess it really does kind of use the spin because I saw it then. But I just think, I don't know, man. It's tough because again, you're a professional. Like, you should be able to do something about it, right? Just like how with baseball, if it's raining, you can get a new ball.
Hmm.
You can use the rosin bag to kind of create a little bit more substance on it to get it a little
Yeah.
bit stickier.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of different things, but golf is just one of those ones where you really can't do anything, right?
Right.
It's like if you pick it up, it's a it's a I guess it's an infraction, um,
Yeah.
or a penalty. And only if it's wet is the only time where you can pick up your ball, as long as you
Mm.
put a tee down where it's at, pick up the ball, have your caddy wipe it, and then place it down where you want. Where, in my opinion, if you're able to place it, being that the water's underneath it, you can really, put that ball up and just basically have it teed up so it goes.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a tough one. Um,
Yeah.
I totally get why they don't want to do it because
Hmm.
you're just making the game easier. But again, too, it's like
It's
they're
not
not
consistent
making.
for everyone too. If everyone had to deal with that on the same hole, like, hey, you hit in
Yeah,
the fairway, it's automatic, you're gonna get one. Like,
yeah,
I feel like it'd be a lot easier to be like, okay, well then we're not gonna do it. But the fact that
yeah.
it's so random, or some people might get
hmm
it depending on the spin rates that they get, compared to other people, it makes
Like,
it difficult.
okay, here's another one that I think really needs to be reviewed. So during the tournament that I played in this weekend, this guy based out of San Francisco hits a shot into the ninth green side bunker. So the course had just stacked all the bunkers with new sand. Okay, they like just threw it in there, didn't quite groom it, do anything. His ball was completely embedded in the sand. So not just a fried egg. I mean, we could not see it if it wasn't for like basically us just seeing like the very top piece where it
No
said
way.
Titleist. Swear to God, I wish I would have taken a picture, but he had to take an unplayable because there was no way he was going to be able to get
Right.
the ball out.
Yeah.
So he had to take an unplayable, pull the ball out, and then place it down below. So that was like another stroke on top of that. Then it took him 3 shots to get out because the sand was just so soft. Kind of like Bryson in Mexico, trying complaining about the bunkers there. But I mean,
That's brutal.
he then took an 8, and the last one was like him chipping. It was a chip and shot on like the fourth attempt out of the bunker.
Jeez.
It was just unbelievable, dude. I'm like, there's no way. Like, you should just play 2 balls, like
Dude, yeah.
take and then have them review it because there's no way that that ball should be embedded on the face of the bunker. That was what was even crazy. That's why we couldn't find it. So yeah. But I mean, that's a wild one too. The other one that I really wanted to touch on is, have you been hearing any of the stuff about how Rory like didn't want to talk to any of the media during the entire week, and
So
now
annoying.
people are saying that he's basically becoming like the most unliked person on tour right now because all he does is he's just a poster child for the PGA,
Yep.
talks down to live, creates issues, but then when he plays bad, doesn't want to
Little
talk
whiner
about it.
baby. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just like you said, John Rahm talked to the media right after. Bryson DeChambeau talked to the media right after on Sunday. It's like, it does irritate me. because that's why you're getting paid millions of dollars. You've made generational wealth for you, your kids, and probably your grandkids for the rest of their lives. Like talk to the freaking media, dude. Answer some questions. You can
Yeah.
even just pull a stupid like Marshawn Lynch, like I'm just here so I won't get fined. Like it's that simple. Like, is it frustrating and irritating that you're gonna get the hard questions? Yeah, but you're making millions of dollars, and people are curious of what the heck is going on. Even though I think was it Scottie Scheffler, apparently his driver was deemed non-conforming or whatever,
Because the
as
face
well.
was too thin or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. That's just based off of playing too much and not realizing it, or things like hitting it too much or whatever. But I mean, like, it's something so simple where it's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just was hitting it too much. I didn't realize that it was getting dented in, or they got thin, or whatever the issue was. It's so simple. You say it like that and people are like, okay, not a big deal. But now that you hide for 3 to 4 straight days, that just makes it even more shady.
Yep. I don't know if you caught this, but Bryson's new sponsor is Salesforce. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw the shirt. I was like, what the heck?
Dude, did you see how much they paid him to put that on his shirt?
No.
$125 million to put that on his shirt.
For how long?
I don't know, but he gets bonuses if he makes the weekend and places within the top 10 as well.
125? Man, Salesforce is doing good, huh? Woo.
Oh yeah. But dude, that's more than what it costs to put. They paid Bryson more than what they paid Red Bull to put their logo on the Formula One car.
Dang.
Yeah.
And I did see that logo. I was like, because that's like a big logo. They don't have like a little tiny one that kind of like is like not hard to see. That one's like bright blue on the shoulder,
right on the tricep. Yeah.
Yep, can't miss that one. Man,
no,
that is wild. I did not know.
Yeah.
I did know one random little fact. I guess back when Phil Mickelson was starting out his PGA Tour career, I think like his first tournament, he didn't have enough money to, whether it was travel or lodge or whatever, for his first tournament. And there was, I think it might have been like a golf club. He's like, hey, did you? Yeah, was that what it was? You know about it too, where like they, he asked for like an advance of like 9,000 or whatever it was to like help him cover that fee, and he'll put like his the logo or whatever of theirs like on a bag, and ever since that he's kept it on there just because of they trusted him at that time when he was at his low. So I thought it was really cool. But 125 mil, I mean, Bryson can literally just be like, all right, Liv, here's your money back. I'm good here. I got what I needed from Salesforce. I'm gonna try to earn my PGA. I'm gonna go back on the Corn Ferry Tour, win my PGA Tour card the hard way, and
I thought that was wild. And I went searching for it too, because I was like, this is insane. I was like, that's a new logo on them right there.
Yeah, I did notice that. And are there any other logos that I did see? No, just the ones in the MLB jerseys now that I'm like, these are so lame. Like, what
I
are we
haven't seen
doing?
those. Dude, I've been so disconnected from the MLB. I mean, my Giants suck, and then how crazy that the Angels swept the Dodgers.
Oh, I haven't even been paying attention that much. I just saw like, what was it yesterday? Or the day before the Mets versus the Yankees. That's always always on. I'm like, oh, let's just see what's going on. And they have like the things on their sleeves, and I'm like, bro, no, what are we doing? Like, golf already does. It makes sense for golf, but like for MLB that has all this movie TV rights, and stuff like that, there's no reason for that. But overall, I was impressed by Quail Hollow. It definitely showed its teeth. With how long everything was, just how much everyone struggled on 16, 17, 18. I feel like Jonathan Vegas, that was definitely a surprise. I haven't heard that name in a long time. With him leading, I think he was like the first Colombian to lead a major, to lead. With a lab putter. And it's unfortunate he couldn't hold too much, but I kind of figured that he wasn't gonna hold, and there's no one that was gonna get close to Scottie Scheffler. I think they're saying Scottie could shoot a 9 on the last hole and still win by a stroke. I'm like, geez, man.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was just lights out.
Did you see the dad moment? Did you see the dad moment after? Where, like, set the kid down. Here's the scorecard. Put this on my hat and the scorecard.
I don't know if you, I don't know if it was just me, but I saw a huge marketing potential for Nike with that. Taking that picture of their champion, right, with Scotty in the back, the new generation with Bennett right there, the Nike hat, like what's to come, right? Like I don't know if it's just me, but that could be literally the logo for Nike's onto something new. And dude, okay, I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. Maybe I just haven't seen it, but FootJoy's like major collab is on point. Have you
Who they
seen
do
those?
this
Like,
one with? Who they do the recent one with?
no, it's just them. Like, so like for the Masters, right? They take their
Mm.
what's like their super fancy like leather shoe. The
Oh yeah, I think they got the Premier Series.
right. So the Premier Series for the Masters had like the green bottom, right?
Yep,
This year for
Carolina
the
Blue.
yeah, they had the Carolina Blue um for the PGA Championship. What was the other one before that? Um,
No, that was it just
but
for now because
yeah,
these are the first
but
two.
they've had like all these great collabs for like the big events,
Hmm.
and it's just kind of skirting underneath the radar.
Yeah,
Like they look great. The other thing that I did come across today was Scottie Scheffler's shoes for the Masters um and for the PGA Championship. I guess were like one-offs where they only released the Azalea, what is it, Vapor Nike shoe that they have right now.
the little
They
pink ones,
only
right? The white and
yeah,
pinks.
they only released those like in Europe or something like that.
How convenient.
Like right? And then the PGA Championship, you can't find them anywhere. So everyone's like, well, what the heck? How are you going to have the number one player in the world wear those and then not be able to sell them, right? And everyone was just talking about it on TikTok about like when Tiger wore things, it was like on the market like that, and everyone like
They're
raced to
missing
go.
so much potential. You could easily just put it out like
I
with
mean,
access to everything. Why do you not just allow everyone to get it? Like, I get the
yeah,
scarcity, but the scarcity doesn't make the company money. It's the secondhand person that makes the money, right? You buy it, you're able
yeah,
to cop one, great. You triple the price and you make like double the profit. They don't make any of that extra profit. So why don't they make more of them? Like I never understood that. Yeah, it's cool,
yeah,
but like you're not making that extra money. The people that are buying the shoes for the cost price or whatever are, you're not seeing so much of this money. Where if you just doubled the amount of shoes that you have on these crazy like limited drops, I
hmm
mean, it's still not that much, but you're doubling your profits already just from the regular prices. But yeah, I did see those shoes and they look sick. The azaleas looked really cool. I know with the Major Cut series with Grant and the Bryan Bros, Grant was playing with an azalea ball, I guess. And I guess
hmm
that's what they had specifically for that. I guess what's interesting to me, if you watch that, um, they were sponsored by the PGA Championship. Like they had them come out, set
hmm
everything up. Like, but you just like got whether it was PGA Tour or the PGA Tour of America, I'm not sure which one is which, but was working with the Bryan Bros, which obviously has their brother that was just suspended.
yeah,
I thought that was interesting because now I'm thinking they might not be coming to Pebble Beach this year because they're probably going to go to Oakmont, for the U.S. Open, and then they're going to go to wherever they're doing the Open,
hmm
before that. But that was a cool series. Watching
it
both of those
was,
days, you're watching someone who's like Grant, who's maybe like a +1, maybe a scratch or +1 or +2, depending on the week. And he shot like a 17 over or whatever after 2 days. Just got
yeah,
eaten alive. And it's kind of scary to see how anyone else would play on that
yeah,
course in those conditions, how far away the tees are and everything. Whew.
yeah. Was it just me, or does it seem like now that Grant's been working with Phil, like he's got a little bit more
Swag,
um
more confidence. Like,
yeah, he definitely likes to run his mouth a little bit more.
yes,
He kind of, yeah. I was just kind of like, look at this guy.
100%, 100%. And it's always funny to watch that because you could see that it's still a little uncomfortable to him, even though he's
Hmm
trying. That like he's new to it. Like when he's not really new to it, it's like I see where you're going, but like,
Yeah.
you're kind of a little uncomfortable getting there. You could just see it, and you can kind of see like I remember some of the comments. I'm looking at the Brian Bros, and you can just see them where they're just like smiling, where they're like, I'm not gonna say anything. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Like I easily could, but like I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna leave it as is. But yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about there. I mean, I'm sure it easily rubs off when you play with Phil, especially on your team, and he's just
Oh, for sure.
barking away at the
Mm-hmm.
players. But that was a great series. Checking out the course, and I think West shot like a 4 under or 5 under on the second round, which was wild, all because of a quick little thing on the range. And that's what one of the biggest differences between pros. They are able to figure it out just like that. You're like, oh, that's it. I'm in. I'm good. I think he shot like what, 2 over or 3 over or something on the first round, and then he's like a 4 or 5 on the back of second round, and it's just like he shot a 3 over and he felt terrible on one of the toughest courses right now. And it's like, that's a pro. They'll hang around. They'll just do whatever they can to par, just scrape by, give themselves chances.
I that was the one thing that I noticed this weekend where, even though it was just like a local qualifier, like there was this one guy that I played with the first day who he made a great part of the first hole. I mean, really worked for it. Second hole makes a birdie. Fourth hole makes a birdie, and then on number 5, like 7.
Oof.
But dude, I kid you not. Like maybe I just saw it just because I come from a sports background, right? You're just kind of looking at like your competition, and something clicked. Like after that 7, something clicked because the next shot throws like a 6-foot dart right on the hole, and it was just like, and I mean, not even phased. Like we all were like, "Oh, great shot, great shot!" And he's just like knocks at the birdie. We go over to 7, takes an aggressive line with his driver, cut off the bunker, gets clears over it. He's got like a flip wedge in, throws another dart, just misses the edge, but makes a good par. Right? 8 does the same thing. I'm just like, dude, this guy just kicked it into another level. Like, this is great. All of a sudden, but then, we get over to 10, finds one in the water. But it was just like, there was just that little spurt where he had like that, like, oh no, I'm not backing down here. And it was like, for me, when I made my 9 on 9, I was just like, I guess I'm playing early tomorrow. Like, there's nothing I can really do here. So that was kind of it. It was just like, I could have kept grinding, but it was just like, dude, like, there's nothing else I can do. I'm not going to go 6 under on the back with 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. Like, I'm just not going to happen, And yeah, it was just berserk. But then next day it came out and completely back to normal. There it was.
Golf, man. Golf at its finest. You have it one day, you don't the next. What did Max Homa say? Like, golfers are like the craziest players. We're one swing away from being a PGA Tour pro, and then one swing away from losing our swing forever and just hating the game because we feel like we can never get back to, a normal swing. And it's,
dude, he's getting so much hate, man. Like, when he threw his club, like Twitter was just blowing up on him. Like, yeah, switching logos doesn't mean the ball's gonna, your crappy game is gonna be any better or whatever. I'm just like, man, dude,
Well, I mean, what's crazy is I'm actually gonna see if I can look him up right now. He had a crazy 4 days. Let me see if I can bring up the scorecards. Because I think like the first round, he shot a 2 over. Then he comes on Friday, he shoots a 7 under. Him at 5 under. I think he was like probably tied like top 10 or whatever. And then he goes +5, +6. I'm like, what? Like, you were like, oh, you found it, man. Let's go. Okay, Max, I see you. And then I'm like, Saturday, I'm like, where is this dude on the leaderboard? I'm like, what? And then Sunday, I'm like, what? What are you doing? Like, we trusted you,
Let me ask you an honest question here. Okay. Now, I've never heard of any cases of anybody getting caught for betting in golf, obviously because it's a very individualistic sport. But it's like now that you have all these betting apps, right, that are highly advertised, like what if some of these dudes are throwing money on themselves? Like, shit, Vegas is not going to make this weekend. I'm going to say I'm going to, I'm going to change the odds and say I do, right? And then throw all this money on themselves, make the weekend, just be in contention, get some money from from the event, but then get paid out fat for making the weekend, right? Or Vegas, Vegas says I will make the weekend. Play the odds, right? It's like no one would ever know. You could do like an Otani situation, dude. Go have your
you have
your
to have someone. It
translator.
definitely could be like Max Homa from his phone. He was in the PGA. He was in Quayle's clubhouse when he made the bet. Like it can't be there. Like it has to be someone like a buddy or a buddy's buddy or something like that he's giving the money to and throwing it that way. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't happened more than it should. With like you said, how common it is. All these betting apps, like ESPN has their own betting app now, and all these things. But like, I would think like you can't obviously regulate it 100%. But if they were to bet, I'm like, okay, if you're going to bet, you should only, if it is possible to mandate it or not mandate it, but like track everybody. It's like you could only bet on things that will like make you better, as in like you will make the weekend. Obviously, in order to make the weekend, you have to play as best as you can, right? Okay, well, cool. That should be good. You can't bet on like not making the weekend and then just like shoot like 12 over or whatever and miss the weekend, but like other way around, nice. But I don't know. I mean,
Dude, it just seems weird. Like now that all these you got ESPN, like you said, who has a betting app, right? And it's like, what's stopping organizations from basically, what's what I'm looking for?
Salesforce put down 50 million on Bryson to get their money back.
Yeah, no, just like fixing games, right? Like the NBA. What if they just script it so in that way it's like, yeah, Warriors have to play Game 7 back at home against the Timberwolves and lose, right? In order for people to make some huge dough, or even like,
yep.
I don't know, we got to keep the next Super Bowl, tied. Like they got to score less than 45 points or whatever, or 35 points to
Kick
like
out his
hit
knees.
the
Get him
jackpot.
out. Don't let him score. What is it in a semi-pro?
You see it.
He's like, if you're 115 points, like you get everyone a corn dog. He's like, I don't have that money. Are you kidding me? And the guy scores. No, learn English. Gosh, dang it.
You see one of the refs running next to like Saquon Barkley pulls like a freaking crowbar out. His MCL at the one, snaps his knee at the one, so he doesn't score.
What was that? What was that sports movie where it had like the running back and he's like running with a gun in his hand? He's like shooting the players. Have you seen that? I don't know if it was like a memory in the movie. I just remember vaguely seeing like a running back running and he's shooting.
Wasn't that the Dictator where he's like in
no,
a track
not
meet?
That one. I know what you're talking about. That's like a race.
Yeah.
This is like an actual like running back in like a sporting movie, like a football movie or whatever. And he's like running with like a gun in his hand. Just like someone's coming up to tackle him, bang, just takes him out. It's just like,
I don't know.
This dude's got a gun, like, dude. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That'd be wild. But I mean, did you hear about Michael Block?
Was that Lost Boy Scout? No, that's not it, right?
No.
No, it's not. It's not. Okay.
What about? Did you hear Michael Block's comments?
Mm-mm.
Dude,
I didn't. I just saw all the stuff about like Cinderella story kid is done. Like
good old Michael Block making his way to the PGA Championship again. 2023 turned a lot of heads, had a lot of airtime, had a lot of good quotes. This dude says, I didn't play that well. And I feel like it's because there weren't that many. The crowds weren't that big. If I had a big crowd around me, I feel like I would hit some really good shots.
Hey, maybe
something along those lines.
Spotlight.
Something along those lines, right? Like not exactly like that, but like it was basically what he said. And it's like, bro, he's like, I play a lot better when people are watching me than by myself. Like, dude, you made the PGA Championship. Like, you obviously qualified, which is very, very difficult to do compared because you go up against, I think, all the other PGA Tour professionals. which are really, really good, and no one's watching you. Like, you don't need that. And playing in front of anybody at a major, no matter how many people are watching you, is going to be way more than what you're used to doing because there's no one really watching you ever. No one wants to say, hey, Michael, when's your tee time today? Can I come watch? Like, that just doesn't happen unless you're maybe like, even if you're a Scottie Scheffler, no one's going to do that. They might see you on the course, but they're not going to be like following you when you're playing a regular round with your boys. But like, when I heard that, I'm like, dude, what are we doing, man? Like, that was like, was it 2023? If I had Rory's distance, oh man, the amount of majors I would win, like, oh, I would be so good. Like, yeah, dude, if I was 6'3", can hit the ball 350 and, chip like Scottie Scheffler and putt like whoever's a really like Tiger Woods, yeah, I'd be an amazing golfer too. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, come on,
Hey,
bro.
he knows what he's doing, man. I think he's gotten the whole social media game down to where he's just like, I think he knows he wants to say something. I don't want to say stupid, but he wants to say something like that to get people to talk about him more.
Engage.
So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's like his kid. Like his kid is basically milking the fame that his dad had, and now all he does is just play the country club and go after the course record. But it's like he hits the ball a country mile. I mean, he like competed in long drive, he did all this different stuff, and now he just goes out there and is like, oh yeah, 265, 3-iron, smash. Like, I mean, it's impressive, but it's also just kind of like, dude, you're just tall and lanky, so you're just creating a crap ton of drag. But
Right.
yeah, I guess you still got to hit the ball really well.
And you got to hit it close up too, dude. That's the thing. Like, if you hit 300, 350, 400 or whatever, great. But if you can't chip, that ain't going to mean anything. If you can't putt, it ain't going to mean anything. Your game's got to be like from tee to green. So this week, we are finally, after over a year, going to be getting together, getting a round in. Cannot wait. I'm super stoked. Memorial Day weekend. I'm stoked. It's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait. I'm not sure. I know we're going to do a match. I still would love to do a T-flip challenge. We'll see exactly what we go with there. But have you looked at the course at all? Eagle Springs?
I haven't.
You got a break. They got like the whole flyovers and everything. So if you take a look at it, it's a fun course, dude. Very pretty, very cool views. You're definitely gonna like it. It's gonna be a good time.
Nice. I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll be there all weekend, so be good. I think the kids will be excited just to get out and do some stuff and be with grandpa and grandma, and then hopefully it's not too crazy like with the round. And he's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "We gotta go." I'm like, "Oh boy, here we go." So yeah.
Yep, I know. Duty calls. Hopefully we can get one video in, but I'm trying to think. Anything else you want to touch on from a PGA Championship? I know, great weekend. I feel like it really, played pretty well this week. I was impressed.
I just the Mondays after majors always just kind of feel weird because you're like, man, I just watched excellent golf, and now you're just like, God, I gotta wait till the next one to see it again.
Father's Day.
Not saying,
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Not saying that the what's coming up next.
I think it's a Colonial.
Schwab. Is it the?
Well, they're playing at the
Charles
Colonial. Yeah, it might be that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's like, not to say that that's not a good one, but it's like Davis Riley won that one last year, and then what's up after that is the Memorial Day or Memorial Tournament, which I think Scottie won. Yeah, and we have 3 weeks until the U.S. Open.
I already told my wife that 2027 Pebble Beach. That is going to be my Father's Day present. I want to go to that tournament. I want to go. You can mark your calendars.
There you go.
But yeah, I feel like I do really like how they. One last thing that I will say, I do really like how they set up the majors where you got Augusta, the Masters in April, PGA Championship in May, You got the U.S. Open in June. And then I think it's July when they have the Open. I'm not mistaken, but I guess that's a new thing. Did you know that? Like the PGA Championship apparently used to be in August, and they changed it to like make it a monthly thing, I guess. Which I like because I mean, playing anywhere in August, unless it's like Monterey, it's gonna be hot and humid, and playing in pants. Last thing you want to do is play in Oklahoma or Texas or in the South. Like where it's super hot and super sweaty, even in Florida. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I mean, think about it. Like they play the Masters every year the first week of April because they're not going to play it in August. You know, how brutal that would be to be playing in the humidity in August. And I mean, the PGA Championship, when they did play, I do recall this. It had to have been in August because I was 16 years old. We made it to the the Babe Ruth World Series when I was 16, and we played in Arkansas, and it was like a 4-hour drive to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where they had the major when Tiger won at Southern Hills. 16 was that? That was a while ago. 17 years ago, whatever it was. It was like 2005, 2004, 2005, or whatever. They were playing in August. And when we were in Arkansas for our tournament, it was like 103 with like 95% humidity. And like it was brutal. And they were golfing 4 hours away from there in Tulsa. And I'm like, dude, that's gotta be miserable. I know they're pros, but I mean, like, how are people not fainting? Just like
I think the worst I ever played in baseball wise was like July in Henderson, Las Vegas, in like 115-degree weather. We had two umpires. We had two umpires pass out during the game. We had the first base umpire who dropped first, and then we had the home plate umpire. And basically, they had to like pull someone else from like the other field so we can keep our game going. And then they moved everything back. All the games were like at night
later. Yeah.
So yeah, and it was just like I remember like even my mom was like, why would they even think that this was like a good idea? They're like, it's burning hot out here. They're like 80 degrees is tolerable because we're in the desert, right? So it's
100%.
Like
just play throughout the night. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Have the first game be like it.
That's what they did in NBC World Series. That's the hottest that I played in summer ball. 105 on turf in Wichita, Kansas. And
I can feel the blisters on my feet already.
My shortstop, his cleats were melting. Like it was like running off, like the black of the cleats. Like I'm like, are you kidding me? Like this is, and they did the 24-hour thing where you play throughout the night, but like you still had games during the day. And oh my gosh, like it was steaming. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, does this have to be the place to play? Like, I don't even care. I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, dude, it's brutal, man. Like, yeah, it's a different beast when it comes to like travel ball and even just college ball too. Like it's different. But all right, man. Well, I think this is a good spot to cut the podcast. Don't forget, everyone, we still have some great promos with Primo Golf with Sunday Swagger. I got the shorts, rocked the shorts this weekend, super comfortable. Not a big fan of the button.
Oh, the closure.
Yeah, but it's okay. And then sorry, you're gonna have to remind me of the protein bars.
Oh, the protein bars. Yeah, I'm gonna bring those on our golf outing. Battle bars. 20% off, man. Those things are bomb. I had a strawberry one.
Bars.
I got 4 flavors for us that we'll try. I blanket on exactly what they are, so stay tuned. But we'll have them. You'll eat it on air, and you'll tell me what you think of it. But they're pretty good. I mean, and they're like I eat Cliff Bars like regularly. And
like
those are
worst, bro.
Are they?
They're so bad for you.
Okay, I'll say they're better. They're more healthy than Cliff Bars. So I don't know if that's how high of a standard that is, but
yeah,
it doesn't sound like much anymore. But
I used to be a connoisseur of those things. Like it was like, oh, breakfast, no problem, I'm having it. Lunch, no problem, I'm gonna have it as a snack. Now that we're older, and I've looked at them like, dude, these things are terrible for you. Like, what's wrong with me?
But yeah, take a look at our links for our discounts below. Polos, Primo apparel, battle bars, all the fun stuff. But hopefully you guys have a good week, and we'll see you guys next week.